namaste first. Namaste everybody. Welcome to yoga. So we're going to start in Vajrasana. So it's a thunderbolt pose. So we're actually sitting on our calves, but what I want you to do is to make sure you roll your calf muscles out so that you're not restricting any blood flow, and then come to sit onto your heels. I'm just going to face this way so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to do some neck flossing, and it's quite a funny feeling. So first of all, let's just shake the hands out, settle into the practice. So I want you to put one hand onto your chest and one hand onto your belly, and we'll take 3 slow breaths just to get ourselves settled into today's practice. It will be around 40 minutes. So gently closing the eyes, I want you to start to feel the rhythm of your breath in your chest. So feel the rise and fall of your inhale and exhales, and hopefully what it should do is connect you to how you're feeling, and you can let go of anything else that you've done today and just dedicate this time for yourself. So we'll take one deep inhale and take a slow exhale. That's my catchphrase. Okay, nice. Okay, so now we're settled into the flow. What I want you to do is to take out your right hand and imagine as if though you're reaching for something on the floor. So you're reaching. But what I want you to do is to try and drop the shoulder. I'm just going to tie my hair up. Try and drop the shoulder down. So try not to have the shoulder up near the ears. Drop the shoulders down and reach for something near the floor. And you'll already feel this neural stretch sensation going down your bicep, maybe even down to the hands. So slowly take an inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to take your left ear to your left shoulder. And keep that shoulder dropped, and you'll feel more of that stretch it's a neural floss. So holding here for an inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to slowly look towards your left hand. So you'll feel the neural flossing. Okay. As slowly as you inhale, I want you to take your head back to center and then just shake out that right hand. We'll go through the other side. So taking out your left hand this time, imagine you're reaching for something. Make sure to drop the shoulder down. Good. I'm already feeling this. I've got a neck injury on the left side, so I won't be able to look where I did before. But make sure you're reaching with the left hand, and then take an inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to take your right ear to the right shoulder, but keeping that left shoulder dropped. So I can only make it to here because I've got an injury. But if you can, take the ears as far as you can. Good work. Take an inhale once again. This time as you exhale, I want you to look towards where your right hand is. So you'll feel that neural floss all down. This is probably something you never even knew existed. When I first did this, I did not know that the nerves could feel like this in my arms. Good. As you inhale, I want you to take yourself back to center, and then slowly maybe shake out the left arm, and then slowly I want you to inhale, raise the hands up to the ceiling. We're going to interlace the fingers, shine the palms to the ceiling, and slowly arch the back. So we're going to slowly mobilize the spine. As you exhale, slowly push the hands forwards as you round the back, and then drop the head down as you find that final position. Good. So we're curling here. As you inhale, take the hands up to the ceiling, really arching the back. Try to push the chest forwards. Then as you exhale, pushing the hands forwards. Hopefully your calves don't feel numb at this point. If you want to, you can give it a quick shake. Inhale, take the hands up. Find that big arch. This is the last time we'll do this. Then as you exhale, round the shoulders forwards. And then drop the head down once you find that. So bring the chin to the chest. So we're really rounding the spine. Good. As you inhale, maybe let go of the fingertips. And then come to find your neutral tabletop position. So make sure hands are directly underneath the shoulders, or always check alignment. Knees are directly underneath the hips. Good. So what we're going to do next feels really weird, but it's a very good way to slowly start to wake up the spine. So what I want you to do is, as you inhale, we're going to take the head up. So you're going to look forwards. So the chin is nice and high. Imagine being a confident, person with their chin held high. Then as you exhale, I want you to slowly bend the arms to bring the chest and that chin still lifted down to the mat. So we're in this position called the 8-limbed pose. So the hands, chin, chest, knees and feet are touching the mat, and it's slowly going to wake up the thoracic region of your spine. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to scoop your chest forwards and upwards into your cobra position. So the elbows can be bent, but you can also, if you can, start to straighten the elbows. And the chest will be nice and open. Imagine squeezing the shoulder blades together. Chest is nice and open. Take an inhale and exhaling. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to lift the hips up and then take yourself back to your child's pose position. So keep the hands where they are at this point, and you should start to already feel a stretch down the side of the arms and kind of the back of the shoulders. But now what I want you to do is, as you inhale, take your hands up to the fingertips. So we're almost spider gripping them out. I call it a spider grip. We'll come back to it in the practice quite a bit. So we're up on tented fingers here, right? And you're going to feel the shoulders slowly, gently. This is a really subtle way to activate some of the smaller muscles in the shoulders. And then just drop the head down and exhale. Good. One more inhale and take a slow exhale. So when I say take a slow exhale, you have to control the length of that exhale. Try not to, sigh it all out. Just really controlling how long the exhale is. Okay. As you next inhale, I want you to start to walk the hands towards the right side. So let me just face this way. So we're going to walk the hands towards the right, and you'll feel the left side of the shoulders and the upper back start to open. And see if you can drop the head down here. Take an inhale. Try not to lose connection to the breath. And an exhale. Maybe reaching a little bit further towards the right. Good. As you inhale, take yourself back to center with the hands. Then as you exhale, we're going to walk towards the left side. So again, you'll feel the stretch on the right side of the body, just below the shoulder blades, maybe towards the deltoids. Different for everyone, but it's mainly kind of the upper part of your spine. Hold for an inhale and take a slow exhale. Maybe try to drop the head down, maybe reaching a little bit further to the left side. Good. Nice work. As you next inhale, walk yourself back to center. Good, sorry. Then as you exhale, I want you to flex your feet and then slowly lift the tailbone up into your first downward facing dog of the practice. So because it's the first one, we're going to come up high onto the toes, and then as you exhale, we're going to start to pedal out the feet. So right heel drops, left heel drops, maybe the hips drop as well. So I say in this position when we're pedaling out the feet to do whatever feels good for your body. So sometimes I like to take the right foot and push the heel down on the left side, then take the left. So literally you can do whichever movement feels like it's needed. So keep holding for an inhale. And you should feel, so my shoulders feel like they're burning because of that active child's pose position. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to take yourself over to your high plank. So tailbone is going to tuck under. You're going to activate the core. We're going to be on our toes. Take an inhale here. Then as you exhale, maybe drop the knees as you lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Good. As you next inhale, relax the feet. Try to push the top of your feet into the mat. As we next inhale, we're going to lift the chest up, and then the hands are going to hover here. Baby cobra. So we're activating the spina erector muscles, so you'll feel your back working. Take an inhale and take a slow exhale. Good. One more. And slowly bring your chest and your hands down to the mat. So now our chest is fully on the mat. Try to keep your hands in this kind of cactus position. So there's a right angle on your elbow joint, if that makes sense. Good. We're going to slowly open up the shoulders here. So what I want you to do is keeping the left hand down on the floor. I want you to use your right hand as you exhale to twist your torso, taking the right leg behind, and you'll feel the left shoulder opening. You'll feel the stretch in the inside or the front of your shoulder here on the left side. Maybe if you can, start to gaze towards the ceiling and you'll start to really deepen that stretch. If it's too painful for you, you can always take that left hand to come straight, and then it will kind of ease off the stretch a little bit. But if you want that intense stretch, keep that elbow bent. Hold for one more, and then exhale, take yourself back down to lie onto your front. So bringing the left hand, the left arm back to that right angle position. This time, right, we're going to take the right arm to that bent elbow position. This time take an inhale. Then as you exhale, use your left hand to push yourself to twist. That left foot is going to come behind you. So you can either stay looking towards the left Or if you want to deepen the stretch, look towards the ceiling and you'll feel the front of that shoulder really stretching and opening. Maybe you can even feel it in the back of the shoulder. Hold for an inhale and slowly exhale. Take yourself back to center. Good. This time pressing down with your hands. I want you to lift up into your tabletop. Flex the feet, maybe adjust your stance. Then as you exhale, tailbone lifts, downward facing dog. So the shoulders should feel a little bit more open. Try to find your stable downward facing dog. So remembering that with us athletes, we have, I'll say it again, the tight hamstrings, tight calves, tight Achilles, tight shoulders. So if you need to, most of us will need to, I'm doing it, I'm bending my knees here to allow my back to be nice and straight. So if the back is nice and straight, your head should be so relaxed that you can start to gaze towards the navel, the belly button, which is the goal here in downward facing dog. So we'll hold for an inhale and a slow exhale. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to take the right foot up to the ceiling. So we'll find three-legged dog. So take it up nice and high. Try to keep the hips squared though. Then as you exhale, I want you to bend the right knee to bring the foot behind you. You'll feel the hips start to open here. Hold for an inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to start to move that right leg in circles. We're going to slowly start to lubricate that hip joint on the right side. Good. Keep holding. As you next inhale, take that right foot back up to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, bring that right foot in between your palms. Once you get there, drop the left knee and relax the left foot. So with this pose, I want you to make sure that there's a nice right angle on your knee joint and that your knee isn't overshooting the toes. So make sure you're nice and aligned here. Then I want you to find that spider grip, the tented fingers. So coming up onto your fingertips. Good. Once you're settled and you find your alignment, as you inhale, I want you to lift the chest up and drop the hips down. So you're kind of almost lifting off of the mat, but keep the fingertips there. So you're going to feel a gentle stretch on the left hip flexor. Hold for an inhale. Keep those tented fingers though, because as you exhale, I want you to start to straighten that front leg, pushing the bum back. The toes will lift and you'll find your half splits. Okay, so we'll move through that movement. As you inhale, shift your hips forward, bending that front leg, chest lifts at the top. Confident stance here. Then as you exhale, that front leg straightens, push the bum back into your half splits. So we're slowly mobilizing the back of the legs. One more, inhale, rolling forwards, lift the chest at the top. See if you can sink into that left hip, really stretching. Then as you exhale, push the bum back. Good. As you inhale next, I want you to come forward into this, what's known as a horse riding position actually. And then slowly start to heel toe your right foot to the outside of your mat. So that means your right hand's going to come inside of that right foot. Good. Once you're there, come onto the palm of the left hand. Then as you inhale, I want you to take the right hand to the inside of the right knee. And then as you exhale, push the knee away from you. So you're going to feel this in the outside of the hip socket. It's a gentle hip opener. It's a prep for lizard pose. If you were in one of my first live classes, you would have done lizard pose and you would think, oh my god, this is not this is not for me. We won't do lizard pose today though. But we want to start to lubricate the hip joint. The birds are really loud here. As you next inhale, take your hand to the outside of the knee. Bring that knee back to the center. Good. And then slowly as you next exhale, I want you to push the right foot back to meet the left. And we're going to go through that vinyasa. So as you exhale, we're going to lower down to find the chaturanga position. So that's where the shoulders and the elbows are in one line. As you next inhale, scoop yourself up, maybe find cobra. Or if you feel up for it, upward facing dog where the hips and the knees are lifted, chest is proud. As you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Good. Remember to find that stable downward facing dog. We'll hold for one breath. Take an inhale. And then slowly exhale. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to take the left foot up to the ceiling. Three-legged dog, you'll feel the right hamstring stretch. As you exhale, bend the knee to bring the foot behind you. Now you'll feel the hips open. Good. Hold for an inhale. Then as you exhale, take that leg in small circles, clockwise, anti-clockwise, maybe changing directions with every circle. just slowly lubricating and warming up that hip joint on the left side. As you next inhale, take that left foot back up to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, the left foot is going to come in between the palms. You're going to drop the right knee and relax the right foot. Again, checking alignment, so make sure you're not here, your knee isn't overshooting the toes. You want to be at a nice right angle. So, spider grip in the mat again, tented fingers. Good. As you next inhale, drop into the hips. The chest is going to lift almost as if you're going to lift your fingertips off the mat, but you're not. You're going to keep them there. Then as you exhale, bum pushes back, straighten the front leg, half splits, the toes will lift. Good. Inhale, rolling forwards. Once you get there, drop the hip down, chest lifts. Good, so it should get easier with each round. Exhale, push the bum back, straighten the front leg. Nice work, one more. Inhale, moving forwards. Chest will lift at the top, feel the right hip stretching. As you exhale, pushing the bum back, straightening the front leg. It doesn't have to be completely straight, so it might be bent. The goal is here, half splits, and keep the fingertips where they are. Good. Inhale, we're going to roll forwards once again. Good. And then we're going to start to heel toe the left foot to the outside of the mat. Okay, so once it's there, that left hand will come inside and then come onto the palm of your right hand. So now we're fully on our palms. Then as you inhale, the left hand comes to the inside of the knee. Then as you exhale, you're going to push the knee away from you. So I'll show you from the front. So you're going to try to push the knee so much so that you can start to gaze towards the sole of your left foot. So this is lizard pose prep. So it kind of opens up the hip socket before you find lizard pose, but we won't find that today because it's quite intense. This is a gentle flow today. I've decided it's going to be quite nice. As you next inhale, take the left hand to the outside of the knee. Bring that knee back to the center. But this time, now that you're on your palm, I want you to start to bring the right foot forwards and find yourself in Malasana, yogi squat. So your toes will face outwards most likely. This. And then I want you to take the elbows to the inside of the knee and the palms will come to meet in the front of heart center. So the goal is to have a straight back, so try not to be like rounded like this. If you need to heel toe the feet out just a little bit, then feel free to do so. It's your practice, your flow, but hopefully the hips should feel nice and open from the lizard pose prep that we just did. So holding in Malasana for an inhale, yogi squat. Then as you exhale, I want you to take the hands up to the ceiling, active Malasana. So you're going to feel the glutes, the minor muscles, the glute medius, the external rotators, they're going to start to activate. Hold for an inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to slowly come to standing. Good. Once you're there, maybe shaking out the legs and release the hands down. We'll go through one round of sun salutation. You should feel nice and warm already. So the reason I would do sun salutations is to slowly warm up the body, but we've done quite a good flow. So what I want you to do is as you inhale, lift all 10 toes off of the mat. Press into the ball and the heels of your feet. And then as you exhale, each and every single toe is going to plant down onto the mat. So we're just slowly strengthening some of the small muscles in your feet. I tend to do it in most classes. So a really subtle way to make sure the foot is nice and healthy. As you next inhale, I want you to circle the hands up. Bring the palms to touch and then gaze up at the thumbs once they meet. So finding that tall position, so try and make sure that the hip is tucked under, try not to arch the back. Try to find the tallest position. If you can, come up onto your toes. Good, find that balance. Hold for an inhale. Then as you exhale, if you're on your toes, bring the heels down and slowly come to forward fold, finding the Uttanasana. Now remember with my Uttanasana that I say it's more important that the belly meets the thighs as opposed to having your legs straight and, being a contortionist. It's more important that your belly meets the thigh and then you can start to straighten out the legs. If you can hug your knees in Uttanasana. As you next inhale, I want you to come up halfway. So this is the point where you can have the straight legs and a straight back. So this is our halfway lift. Now, once you're in halfway lift, I want you to take your hands to your lower back, press down, and we're going to go through 5 pulses. So pulsing our torso up and down. You're going to feel the nerves down the back of your legs starting to have this weird sensation. So it's a neural floss that we're doing here. So 5 pulses, and you should start to slowly release the nerves. So Once you've done 5, take your hands back to where you would usually have them in halfway lift. So if they're in your shins, that's fine. If you can bring your fingertips to the mat, keep them there. And then see if your halfway lift has improved just a little bit. So with the halfway lift, it's more of a neural floss. Hold for an inhale. Then as you exhale, plant the palms down, step, or you can jump back to find your chaturanga, so lowering down. Good. As you inhale, scoop the chest up, find cobra or upward facing dog, your back bend. Then as you exhale, thumb lifts, find downward facing dog. Good. Take a slow inhale and an exhale. Good. As you next inhale, that right foot lifts to the ceiling, three-legged dog. As you exhale, the right foot comes in between the palms. Keep that left foot face forward. Good. And take an exhale, settle into the alignment here. As you next inhale, I want you to scoop the hands up. As you come to rise, find your high lunge position. So for a lot of us, we're going to have tight hip flexors. So that back leg might not be dead straight. So if there's a small bend, that's completely fine. But take the hands up to the ceiling. Then as you exhale, I want you to bring the palms to meet. And then slowly bring the palms down, go to heart center. As you next inhale, use your core muscles to twist your torso towards the right side. Once you're there, hook your left elbow onto the outside of your right knee. Twisted crescent lunge. So you're gonna slowly mobilize the back, but we're also activating the glute here on the right side. If you can, gaze towards your right shoulder. Hold for an inhale. If you want to, you can take the left hand down and the right hand comes up for a full twist, or keep them at heart center. Good. And then as you exhale, take your hands back down to the mat. Take a quick rest. The legs have been working here. And as you exhale, I want you to twist the back foot to 90 degrees. So the toes are going to face the left side of the mat. The arch of your foot is going to be parallel to the top. I'm just going to face the other way, okay, so you can see me. Good. Then I want you to inhale, take your forearm, your right forearm, to your right knee. Then as you exhale, we're going to do this kind of circle, form a circle with the left hand. As you exhale, circle, and bring that left arm up and over. You'll find extended side angle. So notice the straight line from my pinky toe through my torso to the arms. Okay, so this is where you want to be. Now, there are variations in this pose. We're going to stay for 3 breaths. Take an inhale. If you can, take your right hand to the inside of your right foot. So you're going to feel this in the groin and the hamstring. Then there's an even harder one if you want to take it. You can take your right hand underneath the thigh, the left hand goes behind, and you can find this bound extended side angle. That's more intense for the groin, more intense for the hamstring. Hold for an inhale. Good. And as you exhale, start to frame your right foot with both hands, and then slowly twist the back foot to about 45 degrees. So where it was a right angle before, take it so it's kind of facing the corner here. Good. As you next exhale, I want you to slowly start to straighten your right leg, and you'll find yourself in pyramid pose. So this is the hamstring opener. Good. As you inhale, chest lifts, look forwards. Then as you exhale, belly meets the thigh, and sink into your pyramid pose, your hamstring stretch. Maybe drop the head down. The goal in pyramid pose is to gaze towards the big toe on your right foot. So notice most poses come with a gazing point. Just helps you to deepen whichever pose you find yourself in. Good. One more inhale. And take a slow exhale. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to start to walk your hands towards the center of your mat, and your feet will follow. So try to get them to parallel. Good. We're going to find a wide-legged forward fold next. Okay. So you can either keep your feet parallel, or if you want to stretch the outside of your calves, slowly point your toes inwards slightly. So there'll be an inward rotation of your legs, like this. You look like a little baby if you're doing it. Good. So as you inhale, chest lifts, you're going to look forwards. Find length, so flat back. Good. Then as you exhale, you're just going to start to fold down into your wide-legged forward fold. So hold for an inhale, and slowly exhale. Just fixing my hair. Good. So this is more of a stretch for the inside of your hamstrings, but you can feel it in the outside of your calves, okay? So if you're not feeling the stretch, you might need to walk your feet out slightly. If you're feeling too intense of a stretch, walk the feet in a little bit more. Good, and we'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Take an inhale and slowly exhale. Good. 1 more breath. Maybe walk the feet out a little bit more. See if you can get your head to touch the mat maybe. Good. Slowly as you inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back to vertical. Maybe walk the feet in just a little bit more. Bring your hands to your waist. Hold for an inhale here. Then as you exhale, we're to come to standing and then maybe shake out the legs here. Good. Nice. So now what you want to do, sorry, just had a little bit of a weird moment there, is to turn the right foot to face the front of your mat. So now the left foot is parallel, but the right foot is face forwards. Take the hands up here. Good. We'll find triangle pose, which I've done quite a lot of in my flows. So as you inhale, I want you to reach forwards, find length, so straighten the left side of the body. Then as you exhale, the right hand, the back of the right hand is going to come to the shin. The left hand is going to lift to the ceiling. Good. Triangle pose, Trikonasana in Sanskrit. Hold for an inhale. Good. And exhale. Maybe see if you can start to bring the fingertips down to the mat. This one you'll feel on the inside of the hamstring. Good. 1 more inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to slowly bring your hands down to the mat. Step that right foot back to meet the left. We'll go through the vinyasa. So as you exhale, lower down, find chaturanga. Good. Inhale, scoop yourself up to your back bend, cobra upward facing dog. Then as you exhale, tailbone lifts, downward facing dog. Good. Maybe take a small moment to notice how the legs feel or differ from each other. We tend to stay in down facing dog for a couple of breaths just to reset the body. It's the kind of the foundation or the central pose of yoga. Good. As you next inhale, we're going to take the left foot up to the ceiling. Good. As you exhale, bring the left foot in between the palms. Good. And then slowly check your alignment. So that right foot's going to face forwards. Just exhaling here. Good. As you inhale, we're going to scoop the hands up. Find yourself in your high lunge position, your crescent lunge. And remember that the back leg might have a little bit of a bend. We've got tight hip flexors. Good. Hold. Inhale. Good. As you exhale, bring your hands together and then down to heart center. Good. As you inhale, use your core muscles. Twist your body to face the left side. Once it's there, hook the right elbow outside of the left knee. And you'll find yourself in your twisted crescent lunge. So if you can, see if you can gaze past the left shoulder. Hold for an inhale. If it's in your practice, you can take the right hand to the outside of the left foot. The left hand goes up to the ceiling to find your twist, your full twisted crescent. Nice. 1 more inhale. Good. As you exhale, bring both hands to frame your front foot. Maybe take a little bit of a rest here. The leg has been working. And then slowly twist the back foot to face 90 degrees. So the arch of the back foot is going to be parallel to the top of your mat. Good. As you next inhale, bring the left forearm to the knee or just above the knee. Then as you exhale, we're going to form this circle. Good. And then the right hand is going to come up and over, extended side angle position. So there's a straight line, remember, from the pinky toe of the right foot all the way up the body, torso to your fingertips. Good. Variations in this pose, we'll hold it for 3 breaths. If you want to and you feel good, bring the left hand down to the inside of the left foot and then you'll be in this deeper position. You'll feel this more in the hamstring and the groin. If this feels good for you, want to go for that bind, left hand goes under the thigh, right hand behind the back. You're going to grab hold of your hands so they look like this. So grabbing hold of your hands, hold them tight. We'll hold for 1 more inhale. Just going to reset. Good. And slowly exhale. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to take both hands to frame your front foot. Twist the back foot to about 45 degrees this time. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, start to straighten your front leg. So we're now finding ourselves in pyramid. But before we sink into this one, we want to find length. So as you inhale, chest lifts, look up and forwards. Then as you exhale, you can start to forward fold into your pyramid pose. The head can drop, but the goal is to look towards the toe of your left foot. Hold for an inhale and a slow exhale. Good. So whichever hamstring pose that I tend to do, so this is the main one of the practice, I will hold it for about 3 breaths because it does take the hamstrings a while to kind of let go of the tension that's holding. So 1 more breath. I know it's uncomfortable, but keep going. Hold for an inhale once more. Good. And then as you exhale, I want you to slowly walk the back foot out slightly to create space. I've lost my words. Then I want you to slowly lift your hands up and then out. Good. Finding ourselves in this triangle prep. So make sure your feet, check the alignment before we find ourselves in any pose. Make sure your feet are about 4 feet apart. Take the hands up. As you inhale, reach forwards. Find length, so straighten the right side of your body. Then as you exhale, the back of the hand, the left hand will come to the shin. The right hand goes up. Find yourself in your triangle pose once again. Good. Maybe if you can, challenge yourself to bring the fingertips down to the mat. Hold for an inhale. And take a slow exhale. Good. Keep going. 1 more. Inhale. And slowly exhale. Good. As you next inhale, I want you to bring the right hand down to the mat. Face your torso forwards. And then drop down onto the right knee. Relax the right foot. And then take the left foot to meet. Okay, so now we're back onto our knees. What I want you to do is tuck the toes under. I'm going to slowly just introduce a bit of a plantar fascia Achilles stretch. You've probably done this one before and you probably hate it. Sorry, we're going to do it. So make sure you tuck the toes under and then come to sit onto your heels. And straight away you're going to feel this in the plantar fascia, the Achilles, the soleus. And it's going to give us a chance to reconnect to the breath. So kind of a resting pose. Not so much for the feet. So holding here, we'll try to hold for 3 breaths. So we'll start from now, take an inhale. And then in your own time, 3 full yogi breaths. So really be conscious of the breath that's going in, the prana, it's a form of pranayama. 1 more. You'll probably feel this already. Just keep going, you want it to release. 1 more breath in your own time. Big belly breath in. Good. As you exhale, take your hands down, release your feet, maybe tap them just to release that stretch a little bit. Good. Now we're going to find camel pose. If you're at the start of my video, you'll know that this is the pose that's quite intense. So we're going to come to stand onto our knees, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to take your hands to your lower back, the sacrum just above the coccyx. And I want you to push your hips forward. So actively do this with your glutes and your hamstrings, but also your hands are helping to push your hips forward. So we want to find our hips forward. Okay, so once you're here, push the hips forward, take an inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to take your hands just above the knees as you start to bend the back, and you'll find yourself in camel pose. So make sure to push the hips forward, and you're going to look up. Try not to dump the head back, okay? Keep the head lifted, keep the neck active. If this feels good for you, only if it feels good for you, maybe try to find your heels with both hands and push the chest upwards. So now you're going to find yourself in the full camel pose. It's quite intense for the lower back. If you want to come out of it, find child's pose. If you want to stay, we'll hold for an inhale. You'll feel the chest open in this position. And exhale. Good. As you next inhale, maybe if you're holding onto your heels, bring your hands back to the back of the knees. And then slowly come to stand up. Good, you're going to feel this in the lower back. It's going to feel like it's injured, but don't worry, in about half an hour it's going to feel great. And then slowly I want you to find yourself in a rounded child's pose position. So what that means is we're going to get the crown of the head, so the top of the head, to tap the mat, and the hands are going to come beside our legs. So technically I think this is called baby pose when our hands are here. But make sure to round the spine here. So we're going to hold in this child's pose for an inhale. And slowly exhale. So the reason I'm doing a rounded child's pose is really important that we counter the back bend. So that was quite intense. So we have to counter whichever back bend we find ourselves in. So 1 more breath, take an inhale. And then slowly exhale. Good. As you inhale, come back up to stand onto your knees. I'm just going to face the camera. You might want to be a bit horizontal on your mat. We're going to take the left leg out. So this means that you're going to be on the heel of your left leg. Good. Then as you inhale, we're going to take the left forearm to the crease of the hip, so in this little gap here. Good. As we exhale, we're going to take that right hand up and over, and we'll find ourselves in gate pose. So this is going to do two things. It's going to open up the inside of the left hip, and it's also going to stretch the right side of the body. Good. If you can, really sink into this one. Really, really sink into it, and you'll feel this in the left hip. Hold. Maybe gaze up at the ceiling to really deepen this pose. Good. One more breath. Inhale. Maybe the last, as you exhale, the last little push into this pose. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, take yourself back up. Bring the left leg back in. We're going to take the right leg out. So notice how my heel is just the only thing touching the mat. Toes are lifted. Good. So we're opening up the hip. Right. Inhale, take the right forearm to the crease of your hip. Then as you exhale, form that circle that we do, this lovely poetic motion with the left hand. And then start to sink into your gate pose on the right side. Good. So we're going to open up the hips. So we're working with a lot of different parts of the body. So I did your back, now on hips, we did hamstrings. So this is a full body flow. Good. One more inhale, and then the next exhale, really try to deepen this pose, really sinking down for the last push. Good. As you inhale, you're going to take yourself back up, and then slowly maybe facing forwards once again on your mat. I want you to come to sit down onto your bum. So once you're seated, make sure to shift your glute muscles out so you can really sit on your sit bones. We're going to go through one boat pose. So those of you who know yoga, it's not my favourite pose, but we've got to work the core, it's really important. So once you're settled, take the right leg up first, then the left, and then the palms are going to face upwards to the ceiling. You're going to feel the core working straight away. Hold for an inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower. Good. Inhale, rise to boat. Two more. Exhale, lower. Good. One more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rise once again. And then exhale, release your feet down to the mat. Good. Slowly working the core. Like to put a little bit of core work into every practice because it's not about stretch. It's not just about stretching. It's about strengthening as well. Good. So once you're here, I'm going to find seated pigeon. So this is going to be really intense for the outside of your glutes. So what I want you to do is take the right leg, externally rotate the thigh, bring the right foot to the left knee. Okay. Once you're here, I want you to take your hands behind you, and we're going to find that spider grip of the mat once again. So onto our fingertips. Good. As you inhale, straighten the back. I want you to look up at the ceiling. So we're finding length through the spine. You'll already feel this in the hips. As you exhale, I want you to bring chin to the chest. Good. And round in the spine. Good. One more. Inhale. Really straighten the back. Maybe walk that left foot in slightly if you want to deepen the stretch. Look up at the ceiling. As you exhale, round the spine. Chin meets the chest. Good. One more. Inhale. Maybe walk that left foot in just a little bit more. Deepen the stretch. Look up at the ceiling. As you exhale, rounding the spine. Good. Inhale, you're going to take that foot back down. Maybe give it a quick shake. We'll go through the other side. So left foot's going to lift. You're going to externally rotate the thigh. Bring the left foot to the right knee. Good. And then take the hands behind you onto the fingertips. So straight spine as you inhale. Look up. So for me, this left side is brutal. I'm already feeling it. As you exhale, chin meets the chest, round the spine. Good. Inhale, maybe walk the feet in just a little bit, the right foot. Deepen the stretch, really challenging yourselves. Look up at the ceiling. As you exhale, rounding the spine. So brutal for me on this left side. I'm really trying to keep my cool. As you inhale once more, look up at the ceiling. Maybe walk that right foot in slightly. I'm doing it. It feels so painful. But look up. Good. Exhale, round in the spine. Good. As you inhale, take that left foot down. Maybe give it a quick shake. And then come to lie down onto the mat. Good. Take your feet up to the ceiling. So the soles of your feet are going to face the ceiling. And then I want you to grab hold of the outside of your feet. Good. As you exhale, we're going to pull the knees down towards the armpits. And you're going to feel this straight away in your lumbar spine, your lower back. So this is called happy baby pose. And it's literally like one of my favorite poses in yoga. And I just love the name of it. So the reason it's called happy baby, as far as I'm aware, is it reinforces, doing this pose reinforces the primary curve, sorry, big words here, primary curve in your lower spine, which you actually last had naturally as a baby. So coming into this pose, you're reinforcing that curve, so hence the happy baby pose. So in this pose, you can start to sway side to side to massage the lower back. Maybe move around in circles. And this is also a hip opener as well. And this is our penultimate pose of the practice. So holding for one more inhale. Then as you exhale, I want you to take your feet down to the mat. The heels meet the corners. Nice, legs are nice and wide. Take your arms down by the side of your body. Palm face faces the ceiling. Good. We're finding Shavasana, but before we settle into this one, I'll do one final piece of breath work. So maybe last adjustments here. Good. Then on your next inhale, take a big belly breath. Really feel the torso inflate. You're going to hold at the top, and we're going to keep holding the breath. So keep holding. You'll feel the body tensing. Keep holding the breath. Keep holding, keep holding. One more moment. Good. And since you're in the comfort of your own home, we're going to silently exhale. So I just made myself a bit ridiculous on live, but for those of you at home.